Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Mary with Happy Pine Soap. Today I'm going to teach you how to make the Groovy Swirls design from the October Soap Challenge Club for 2024. They were kind enough to award me with a recognition award for best use of color, so thank you. I really appreciate that. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, feel free because I create soaping tutorials on a weekly basis. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Our colors today are all from Mad Micas and include red iron oxide, pumpkin head, sakura, chromium oxide green, and let us entertain you. The fragrances were pink grapefruit blended with Baja cactus blossom, and both of these fragrances behaved wonderfully in the soap as well. For this design, I kept my temperatures lower. Our oils are at 97, and the lye solution was at 87. For this design, I would recommend a soap batter that stays fluid for quite a period of time. And you want to bring it barely to emulsion where it's really not even a thin trace so that you have time to work. And as you see, I'm adding my pre-mixed micas, which were blended with a lightweight oil previously. And I have separated the batter into 5 equal portions for the colors. To make sure I had enough time to work with the soap batter, I added my fragrance last. And again, your total fragrance rate, you just divide by 5 and add that into your colors. And as you see, I'm showing a tall and skinny mold here. That was what was advised by the Soap Challenge Club to use for this particular design. And as you see, my soap right now is probably at a light trace. The soap is staying at the top and not really sinking below, but it still has lots of fluidity, which you'll want for this design. All right, we're ready to start pouring. You want to pour down the walls of your soap mold like you see me doing here. And it was suggested that we use both the ends of our soap mold as well as places in the middle as well. So at first I'll just keep the video at normal speed as I show you some of the first colors being laid down. And then for the rest of the time, I'll speed it up and you'll get a feel for how long this pour actually takes. It ends up being more challenging than you would think, because it's very hard to get randomness and some fun, groovy type of swirls. It can easily turn into an accidental camouflage soap, which one of mine did kind of remind me that. I tried this 3 separate times, and I'll show you what the second time looked like, and I'll show you what the third time looked like. And you'll get a feel for kind of what this design looks like when you try to repeat it. It's quite hard to repeat. It's almost like a Goldilocks phenomenon where you're like, oh, please let this be the one. So yeah, this was quite challenging to get it random and fun and groovy. So yeah, if you try this, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I would love to know what your experiences were with it, or if you felt kind of like I did, like, holy cow, you know, I'm gonna have to have a magic fairy wand to get this correct. But it was fun. It was fun to experiment. It definitely was playful, and I did enjoy it. All right, we're to the end of our pour. You see me swirling here. Whatever tool you decide to use for your swirl, just make sure you don't insert it more than, say, 1/4 inch, from the top of your soap, because you don't want to disturb the layers that are below, because that will mess up the whole grooviness in this design, and we wouldn't want to do that. I went ahead and oven processed my soap, which basically you put it in the lowest temperature of your oven. In this case, it's 170 degrees for my oven. And you turn the oven off, pop your soap in for a few hours, and you can leave the oven light on as well to keep the warmth in. And that will make it a lot harder, faster. It's easier to unmold it. And I like the way the colors are also deeper, and you get a full gel as well on your soap. As you see, I'm getting ready to cut it. And this was about, I believe, 6 to 7 hours after I oven processed it. So it was nice and firm, but not too soft where, say, for example, the edges would be damaged by handling it. So yeah, it cut pretty well, I will say. And this is, I'm starting to see some of the design, and each bar is unique. That's kind of the idea with the Groovy Swirls, is that you get a bunch of really cool, unique bars. And I was kind of trying to figure out which ones were my favorite at this point to try to enter the contest with them. And here you see me beveling them with a simple vegetable peeler. This one is from IKEA and it's nice and sharp. It's one of my favorites. So I've picked a number of bars that I wanted, that I thought were the most unique. But I wasn't exactly 100% happy with the bars, so I tried for number 2, basically. And I thought, well, let me try this again. And on the second try, which you'll see here in just a moment, you'll see that my batter was way too thick. So I used a different fragrance, and I think the batter accelerated too quickly because it got pretty darn thick, and it just ended up looking like a layered design as opposed to more randomness. So I was not happy with that one. And then my third and final try, I did a totally different color palette, and the batter did behave itself, but I just still wasn't 100% satisfied with the swirls. So I ended up coming back to the first one that you see me, of course, still beveling here and just using that one. So yeah, this is not an easy technique, even though it seems to be relatively simple. The pattern of getting the colors correct, so that they look artistically nice together and groovy is a lot harder than I thought it would be, actually. So these are the second tries. You can see not really groovy, not really swirly. And then this is my third try. I really did like this color palette that I used here. And what I was trying to do to add some interest was putting mica, like pools of mica, copper mica, in between the pores, and it gave it this wonderful outline effect that you see on the bars. So I really enjoyed that. I really thought this was a cool look, but again, not quite swirly enough or random enough. You know, the colors were stacked a little bit too much, I thought. So I ended up not submitting this one as the actual contest winner. So yeah, I don't know if I submitted the right one or not, you know, at the end of the day, but we all did our best, you know, and the people who did win, oh my goodness, their grooviness and swirliness were just absolutely breathtaking. So really, congratulations to everybody who won. So if you made it this far in my video, thank you so much for watching. It really does help my channel grow. You know, feel free to drop me any comments below if you've tried this design or any of your experiences with soaping that you've been really enjoying. And I so appreciate all of you watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next soapy tutorial. Take care, everybody, and have a fabulous weekend.